to GeForce Inc. for a third year until November 1st, 2014, when payments would restart with accrued interest capitalized, added to the principal, and re-amortized for the same 20-year loan term. The attached excerpt of 11/14/2012 minutes. EDA Chair Jim Bolger or staff Joyce Iverson present to discuss. Go ahead, Jim. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a 10-year note actually rather than a 20. This is a third year for this. I'll just give you a little background on GeForce. I think originally it came with a $150,000 note, and then about a year later, I guess, and we came back in with. I don't have it. I know that was in your notes. I don't have the exact dates here. Yeah, January. So not quite a year later, there was an amended request to add 150. So they got a total note of 300,000, which they began some payments on. And then when the forbearance came, in play, we actually reloaned the payments that they had made to date, which is about $5,000, and then withheld that and paid some. Rent payments and that sort of thing here locally for it. So this is one that got a new CFO. They report quarterly, and each quarter we've been getting kind of a learning curve for us as we go through these quarterly reports. With doing these flood loans. I mean, when they first started, I don't think anybody was really quite sure how to interpret the documents we got and how to understand them, but now we are getting pretty diligent on that, and I think each quarter we get a little bit more scrutiny involved in it. So the scrutiny on their loan is pretty close now. My train of thought. Basically, I mean, the bottom line from the EDA discussion was this is a function of sales. They just need to get to the point where they can generate revenue-sustaining sales and begin to pay that off. And we felt that the EDA, it's in our interest to, if we can assist by reducing their costs and their outflow, then we'll hold off on receiving their payments, and then and help them, get going and get a little above break even and start being able to pay off their notes. So that's kind of where we are to date on that one. So yeah, we're doing about or they're invested for about 300,000, and we just need to get them help along till they get a point where sales will generate enough income that they can pay all of their bills.
And
have they been generating sales now?
They've been generating sales. Yep. They got the new CFO. Their accounting system is. Much more detailed, so we got a lot better reporting of what they've been generating and what it's been going to. They're currently not drawing salary, so it's the expenses are as minimal for self expenses as possible for them. So there's definitely everything that's generated is being as much as possible put right back into the business to pay the bills. Yeah.
So it's looking like it's going to be able to.
It looks better every time. I mean, I know you sit here and say, well, this is the third time around. When will we get to when do we get back? I don't know that if I can answer that. We're hopeful that each time it looks better. Each time we come up with it. Originally, I mean, we were looking at these forbearances on 6-month periods, and then we decided way back from a policy standpoint we would do it on a year-long basis. Because rather than someone ask for 6 months and then not quite be there, that was the idea behind it. But so we're going to stay with just year periods, but quarterly reviews on them. But this is one where we, just because of the amount and the number of requests, we do spend a lot more time on the quarterly review and getting through that. So yeah, to that end, I mean, yes, we're hopeful we'll get there.
The new CFO is Tom Byrne out of Preston. He's had quite a bit of experience in economic development projects, and he's speaking very positively about the clients that they're working with. So
there's a little bit tighter fiscal control, you're saying?
We believe so, yes, yeah. And also with these transitions and the extensions of forbearance, there's also interest that's being recapitalized, or capitalized into the principal, so we actually have projected a principal balance as of November 1, 2013 of $340,740. So the amount, you know, you're not losing the interest on it. They will eventually pay that.
Some people around town are saying, are they still in town?
They,
Of course they are.
yes, they are.
If they weren't, we would have
Yeah.
pulled their note a long time
Right,
ago.
right.
That's
But the main thing for me, the two items that were most important to me was one, was Tom Byrne coming in as their CFO. I've worked with him before, top notch guy. But secondly is the fact that they're finally stopped looking for the next big project and they go in with the things that they know how to do right now. I think one of the problems is, Jeff's an entrepreneur, and he wants, every door he opens 3 more. And I don't think he knew when to stop opening doors. And he's finally got people around him that are saying, this is enough, we can go with this. And it seems like they're focused, their energies and are moving forward in the right direction.
That's good to hear.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
yes,
10 years.
10 year. They started out with a 4-year note. And then when they got the second 150, then it went to a 10-year.
I don't know if that's a typo or if I just didn't.
It could be.
I don't know.
A little bit of a learning curve too there. I mean, on these early notes too, a lot of the criteria around the number of employees, we were holding them very, very tight to that. They did get early on, you know, going back a couple of years ago, you know, where they brought on employees, you know, due to the constraints of the note, the number of full-time equivalents you're supposed to have, that kind of thing. Probably brought on employees before they had the sales to justify it. So that got them a little bit behind the 8 ball early on. So, you know, to that extent, we're learning a little bit in terms of our policies and how we implement our policies in you know, understanding the balance between the need for additional employees as well as the constraints it puts on the business.
So what is the basic business? What do they do?
Well, I would say, I don't want to say print, but one
Digital
of the,
manufacturing is.
Yeah.
Explaining.
one of the projects I saw, one of the larger ones I saw were the signs, like on the bike path, if you're in Rochester, they have little directional signs all over the you know, poles, 4x4 poles with signs. They made all of those. It tells you which direction, how many miles, where to go, and they're all over in Rochester. That was one of their larger ones. They also do those banners you might see at runs, race runs and that hang on the large poles, and they're triangular shaped or whatever, you know, just banners that promote whatever the event is, those sort of large graphics. They've done some graphics on vehicles, you know, like the back window of a vehicle or the whole vehicle. So it's digital graphics, I guess.
And some of that's commercial work, which they've continued to do to basically pay the bills while they're developing, they develop software which allows them to set up sites for people ordering product online. And some of the clients that they're working with right now they will have multiple locations, if you will, where these orders will be placed and paid for, and then the manufacturing is going to happen here in Rushford.
Good.
I never did understand it before.
It's multifaceted.
There's a
Really
number of
is
different,
quite-
and that was
quite
a little bit to
technical,
what
yeah.
Steve was talking about too, as he was developing these things, you know, additional projects came up and so, you know, it kind of took him away from the, I don't want to say bread and butter, but what was the kind of the bread and butter, the graphic design piece, but then all of the other stuff that kind of took the time away and the lost sales opportunities there, so what I was describing was more of his, you know, his baseline revenue stream, and then what he's trying to develop with the off-site business is what he really wants to make the bread and butter with.